Love you all, but there's a few people in here that have a lot more money than me. If you're a billionaire, why are you a billionaire? No hate, but yeah, give your money away, shorties. Love you guys.
One of the people in that crowd was Mark Zuckerberg. In 2015, Zuckerberg donated $75 million for a hospital wing in San Francisco. In 2020, after activists tried to remove his name from it, the San Francisco Board of Supervisors voted to condemn his name on that hospital wing. But of course, they kept his money. Since 2015, Zuckerberg has pledged to give away 99% of his wealth. He's already given away $7 billion. And he has to sit in a crowd while a multimillionaire tells him his wealth shouldn't exist. The social contract between the rich and the poor has broken down, and both sides are to blame. Aristos is ancient Greek and means best, most excellent, or noblest. So
Billie Eilish called on the billionaires in the room to give more of their money away. Does this reflect her generation's general attitude toward wealth? Yes, I saw her on TMZ doing this, and she was just saying, if you're a billionaire, why? Yeah. Now, a billion is a lot of money, and I can't imagine anyone needing that much money or how you could ever spend it. However, when you get to 995 million, no one wants to stop.
No.
And I'm not so sure she would either, if she got there.
Yes, demonizing people hurts people. They fix it. She has no idea what these people do with their money. And proven right, the Zook has donated more than she's worth. Let that sink in. He's donated more than she is worth. Okay, there is something these people do every single day, and when I see it, I always like to call out. But before I do that, take a look at what this guy said on this video.
in 2015, Zuckerberg donated $75 million for a hospital wing in San Francisco. In 2020, after activists tried to remove his name from it, the San Francisco Board of Supervisors voted to condemn his name on that hospital wing. But of course, they kept his money. Since 2015, Zuckerberg has pledged to give away 99% of his wealth. He's already given away $7 billion. And he has to sit in a crowd while a multimillionaire tells him his wealth shouldn't exist. The social contract between the rich and the poor has broken down, and both sides are to blame. Aristos is ancient Greek and means best, most excellent, or noblest. So aristocracy means rule of the best. The Greeks recognized that some people were just naturally more blessed, more wise, more intelligent, more driven, more capable. And that wasn't an issue because we had a symbiotic relationship where the best of us served the rest of us. And in return, the rest celebrated the best. But in America, that's broken down. Our political system has been corrupted by money, with a subset of selfish billionaires rigging the rules in their favor. In response, resentful radicals are spreading the myth that billionaires shouldn't exist. But no one is saying that Kim Kardashian or Kylie Jenner's wealth shouldn't exist. Yet Zuckerberg, who has given away more than the top 10 richest pop stars combined, is getting lectured. No one should be demonized or dismissed solely on the basis of their tax bracket. The dividing line between good and evil is not.
That has been a song with Democrat. Oh, Trump is rewarding his billionaire friends. Tax breaks, that is what I've observed with them recently. When you take a look at someone, this lady campaigned for Kamala Harris throughout. She even had a concert. So when I see what she's spewing here, it's just a liberal talking points. We have been seeing Bernie Sanders and AIC moving around saying the same thing. So I'm not surprised when I see this.
No one should be demonized or dismissed solely on the basis of their tax bracket. The dividing line between good and evil is not at the third comma. It's between the angels and demons on each of our shoulders. We must be ready to both condemn those who only serve themselves and to celebrate those who serve society. We need to evaluate the actions of individuals, not demonize entire groups. The Greeks realized that there's a social contract and both parties must uphold their end of a deal. It is rationally self-interested for the best to serve the rest, because joy comes from community who loves you, and no amount of wealth will protect you from a society that hates you. But it is also rational to celebrate the best. We should call out specific people who are rigging the system, but we should shame actions, not entire groups. Because if all of the rich are damned if they do and damned if they don't, then most of them won't. And you can't fund hospitals with resentment.
We need to have a chat about Oprah. I've been talking about Oprah, like, privately in my private life with Maureen Callahan, who's got lots of thoughts. I really think Maureen needs to write her next book on Oprah. I'm going to try to make it happen. And a good friend of mine, who's she's a writer too, and she's a reporter. She's got a lot of thoughts on Oprah, and she's a little younger than I am, but she was sort of raised on the Oprah diet the way we all were of a certain age.
Yes, there is one vital question these people don't always ask. Look around these billionaires and try to check who is the highest employer. Then you can draw your conclusions. When you take a look at this, I asked group which billionaires hire the most American workers. Wharton family top the list via Walmart, employ about 1.6 million Americans, which stabilizes retail prices and supply chain for everyday good. Jeff Bezos, Amazon follows with roughly 1 million US workers fueling e-commerce growth and logistic innovation that multiplies economic activities. Elon Musk companies like Tesla hire around 140,000 US staff but create outsized impact through EV manufacturing, space tech, and AI advancement that spawn supply jobs and boost GDP productivity. These billionaires drive trillions in value despite criticism. Okay, when you take a look at what these people are doing, that is impacting a society in a different way. Yeah, these people don't always check that. They believe if you take your money and give it to one organization, which at the end of the day, you don't even know how the money is managed, is the best way. To me, that is not okay. Yeah. And don't always have this kind of mentality to check how these people spend their money. Don't go into that. This person in general that is saying this at the beginning of this video, I want to know the impact she has put into the society. Don't just sit and draw assumptions like this. I understand this has been a thing with Democrat Party. I saw Bernie Sanders, AIC, going out talking about oligarchy. That has been a thing with them. Oh, billionaires want to do this. Oh, then they forget one thing. When Democrats are in power, these people were actually with them. Now Trump came in, they are crying everywhere. Oh, billionaires want to control this. Oh, billionaires want to do that. That has been a thing I've observed with Democrats, and it saddens my heart sometimes when I see this. And it is crazy at a certain point.
Raised by a sociopath. If you look back at Oprah Winfrey and take a look at the messagings that she was feeding, probably every woman in this room and a lot of men too, this is not a well person. We were like deeply misguided. She's another one who decided, I don't know, she didn't get married, right? She and Stedman, they're not married. I don't know what's going on there. I think she might be a little closer to the astronaut. She didn't have children. Her show was her child. Okay, great. How much of a comfort is that to you now that you're 71 and it's ancient history and you're alone, you don't have any grandkids, you don't have any kids. All right. But Oprah, if you look back at what Oprah did, her biggest legacy was getting us all hooked on therapy culture. And the real word for it today is rumination, which, as it turns out, we're now learning is literally the worst thing you can do to get through your mental health struggles. Rumination. And what it basically means is you spend all your time thinking about your problems, thinking about yourself, navel gazing. That's why I wore this jacket, so you could navel gaze with me. That's what Oprah taught us all to do. Think about yourself more, and not just yourself and the possibilities of tomorrow and how well you might be doing today or what you could do to, get what you're after. But your problems, all the terrible things that have ever happened to you, that is a terrible recipe if you actually want to be a successful, happy person.
Thank you, Megan Kelly. I'm going to end here. Please subscribe. And if possible, check if your notification is on. As of the short clips you see at the end here, that is for the whiter algorithm. You can always skip. God bless you abundantly. Please share the videos.
Like me should talk to him.
Now y'all help me make this make sense.
That I think some other families.
Stop 15.
It's the look
I mean, we're facing a time
that you're not ready. And that was my first instinct.
Should have more Republicans on the show, but they don't want to come on. They're scared of us.
History.
Point when I say I'm not going to be apocalyptic.
He even gets an off
If the Democrats
thing because how many times do somebody asks
for
JD Vance should be the next president of the United States. If you want to serve in the American...
give interviews, I don't do that.
JD Vance should be the next president of the United States.
Happening at the moment.
Yeah.
President Obama
Is blatant censorship.
Because he says he has a team of fact checkers.
The FCC.
Want them to stop fooling around with my right to say what I feel.
Americans, it's a part of who we are.
because that is really something that didn't happen before.
Does anybody else watch The View? Because I think there's...
I'm going to say one. Look, there are certain rules of free speech that we must all abide by. But in case anyone needs a refresher, we're going to go over the rules again. He does not have a right to have a television show.
to spreading lies.
Somebody to get up there, not
All the same people that are in these polite...
Disagree with what Gavin Newsom said that he doesn't.
Dave Chappelle.
Without of interest.
I mentioned last night Trump was bragging about how well he did.
Now, California government.
Lord, sweet Mother Mary, somebody need to go check on Gavin.